WELSTech is a bi-weekly podcast exploring the intersections of technology and ministry. It is part of the podcast network sponsored by WELS, the Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod. Our show today is hosted by Martin Spriggs and Sally Draper. Welcome back to WELSTech, everybody. This is episode 730, that's 730, and we're recording it on August 1st, 2024. Show about technology and ministry and where those two intersect. I'm Martin Spriggs, and I am joined as usual by Sally Draper. Hello, Sally.
Good morning, Martin. How are you today?
I'm okay. It's the dog days of summer, as they call it in baseball world. It is warm and humid and sticky, and the grass is growing quickly. We planted 5 trees over the weekend. My son was in town from Denver. He took pity on old dad and mom and said, "I'm going to come and help you plant some trees." So that was kind of nice. So they're enjoying the moist and humid weather as well.
I had a son in town this weekend as well.
Yeah.
From Kakana, son and his wife, and we enjoyed time with them. It was his birthday. My oldest is 29. How can that be? And we also had a wonderful event this past weekend. We were blessed at our congregation, St. Paul's in North Mankato, to receive an assignment from the Wisconsin Lutheran Seminary Assignment Committee. So this was installation ordination weekend for Pastor Noah Hartman, and we are so thrilled to have him.
You were waiting a long time for him.
A long time, I think over 6 years that the congregation was calling, and there was some interim stuff, but we're just thrilled to finally have a pastor in place. So
Good. Yeah. Happy for you guys.
Joyous day.
We're in the same process, so we'll see how long ours takes, but God provides.
That's right. And, I was thinking Pastor Hartman was studying all those 6 years just to come and serve us.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
Little did he know. Yes. Mm-hmm. Where is he from originally?
I believe the Milwaukee area. His father is a pastor as well. So
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, blessings on his ministry, and
for sure.
enjoy him. Sally, we've got a show to do, and we are kind of in the midst. We talked about, being midsummer, and what we do over the summer here in our little show called WELSTech is kind of a lighter themed approach to our shows. And that theme this year includes just kind of general tech conversations with people around the Synod. We've talked to world missionaries, home missionaries, people in different fields doing different things with technology. And we stayed pretty close to home for our conversation this week. And we just from my office, we went downstairs and talked to the Lutheran Schools office. Two staffers down there, Sarah Krause and Eileen Rosenow, are faithfully maintaining all the things that make the Lutheran schools operation run smoothly.
Yeah, it was great to talk to these ladies and hear about the various things that they're involved in, especially in a timely manner, because our schools are going to be receiving resources from them and responding to questions and different things. So it's neat to learn a little bit more of the behind the scenes work that goes on there.
And we in our technology office support all the things that they do from a technology perspective. So they are great partners in ministry, and thought a conversation would be great with them. So let's listen to that conversation now.
I'm especially excited to welcome 2 great friends to WELSTech today. Joining us are Sarah Krause and Eileen Rosenow. They are, we won't let other people know that they're the brains behind Lutheran Schools. We're so excited to have you girls. Thank you for joining us. And we're excited to learn about the work that you do that's super important to our Lutheran school system. But before we jump into that, maybe take a moment and introduce yourself to our audience. They'd love to know more about you. Maybe start with Sarah.
Okay. I'm Sarah Krause. I've been with the Lutheran Schools team for over 7 years now. My title is Promotions Project Specialist, which is a crazy, fun way to say I do the communications. A fancy title just means I do all the stuff like our weekly CLSE news. We do a monthly newsletter for our school leaders. Any of our digital resources, I'm the one who puts them up on the website. So that's the fun stuff that I get to do every day.
Awesome. And you're in the Milwaukee area in what congregation?
I attend Zion in Heartland, and we live in Heartland. So it's just a quick little 12-minute drive into the office here.
Very nice. And the world wants to know about your number one hobby.
Everyone around the office knows me as one of the people who enjoy fishing. So summer is really busy for us. We spend a lot of time on the water. Me and my husband and our dog, who is also named after a fish. His name is Goby.
Awesome. Awesome. And they're like serious. This is like notch up fishing people. They're really good at this stuff. So fun. All right, Eileen, do you have any exciting hobbies to share with us?
Oh gosh, yes. Well, thank you for having me. I am newer to Wells Lutheran Schools. I will be finishing up my 4th year here. My title is Administrative Specialist. So I have my hands in a lot of different things. I assist with or do maintain the call system for teachers and staff ministers, provide call list support for our director staff as well. I also assist teachers, staff ministers with their Wells Cloud accounts and keeping their profiles up to date and that kind of thing for schools as well as teachers and staff ministers. And I also take care of finances for our department for either bills we need to pay or invoices we need to send out. So I'm the one who does that. I am a Wisconsin native who moved back to my home state here in 2020 after 30 years in Southern California. My husband sold our printing business out there. So we moved back and enjoying it very much. We live in Oconomowoc. So yeah, I have one husband. I have 2 adult daughters. Both of them are in the Southeast Wisconsin area. Nice. And 3 cats. So I enjoy all things nature. Bring it on, nature, biking, hiking, and I am a new plant mommy. I'm trying to be a good plant mommy to my ever expanding perennial garden. So awesome. Nobody dies is my motto. So see how I do with that.
You wouldn't like my yard.
Well, no plant left behind. All right, I love it.
Yep.
Great. Those were probably the best introductions we've ever had, I think, Sally.
Yeah.
So,
well, best gals we've ever had.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Well, you work in the school's office, and we're in late July. August is just around the corner, which means school's starting back up. And I'm assuming that means a flurry of activity for you guys coming up here shortly, if not already. From a communications perspective, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you guys send out to our Lutheran schools as they prep to start a new school year and some of your goals around that.
Yeah, we just sent out a hard copy newsletter for the summer. This year, Eileen's got a copy of it. Nice.
Awesome.
So we send out something every summer, just kind of a reminder to all of our schools that, hey, we're here. We've got a lot of great resources. We want to be a resource for them and a support for them. So we try to put as much as we can in there without being too overwhelming. Yeah, and just a reminder to our schools that we're praying for them and their ministries and that we're here to serve them.
Awesome.
Yeah,
seems
absolutely.
Like there's. Go ahead, Eileen.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll just tag on to that. Yeah, we really do this as an encouragement, and we hope that each school shares this resource with all of their teachers. There's some good information on there about doing those profile updates and the fee structure and what we're looking to do a little bit differently this this year, which I can talk more about later. But yeah, like Sarah said, we're here for you to support you. And this is just a little mailer that we send out every year to get in touch. So please feel free to share that with everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the neat things that's included at this time of year is gathering of school stats. Maybe those listening who are involved don't always think it's the neatest thing to have to come up with all those different statistics, but from you guys' perspective, what kind of surprises do you find in there? What things did you, for instance, in last year's school stats gathering and things that you're looking forward to in this new year?
I guess I can go. Just watching our enrollment grow again is just an amazing testament to how great our schools are and attracting families in the community. It's such a cool opportunity to know that our schools are serving families who maybe haven't had a connection to the gospel before. So this is kind of opening the doors to a lot of them, to those kids get to hear Jesus every day in their classroom. So I think that's really neat.
Yeah, very exciting. It also highlights our need for teachers, that we have so many more families interested in what we have to offer, which is the Word of God, and for the students. So yeah, it's just very exciting. It also poses some great challenges for us as well. But that's how God's Word spreads. So we're very happy to see what we're seeing.
Staying on the topic of school stats, from your gal's perspective, why is it done? Why is it important? Why is it helpful to us that those stats are gathered?
I think it's important because without it, we just don't know what's going on. We don't know any, and since we've been collecting statistics for such a long time, we can see trends over time, to kind of red flag, ooh, that's maybe an area we need to spend more resources on, and it gives us a chance to celebrate things that are going really great too.
Sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about the number of requests for reports that you might get, Sarah, between now and the next time you collect school stats. And they always seem to come up with some really unique requests now, don't they? So it's good to have
Very interesting. Yes, people are interested in data and using data to make decisions, which is an excellent use of what God's given us to use our reason for that. But yeah, I get some really interesting questions, and occasionally I do have to say, I'm sorry, we don't collect that piece of granular data. It's really more of an overall picture of how our schools are doing. But occasionally, yeah, depending on the trends of how things are going and what people are interested in, a district president or a certain one of our districts will have very interesting sort of requests for how our schools are doing XYZ, or how many people are serving multi-grades or stuff like that. Is just interesting to see.
All right. Well, Eileen tipped her hat a little bit that she's very involved with the offering of products that Lutheran schools have. That turns out that you guys have a lot of advantages to different resources and things. Maybe you can tell us some of the highlights for this coming school year, the things that are offered.
Yeah, sure. We manage all of the product services and subscriptions through our office. And one new thing we have this year is we're going to be having a contract with the MAP testing people, that about a little over 200 of our schools use that for analyzing student performance. And so we're going to be running that invoicing and subscription process through our office for our smaller schools. So we're excited. We're excited about that. We're also moving to a fall fee payment timetable. And the reason for this is to get schools by then have a better idea of their enrollment. So it enables us to pay for these subscriptions in advance with these vendors with more accurate data, and also for schools to be providing their payments based on actual enrollment in these products, whereas before it had been on the previous school years. So we're moving to that. We're going to start accepting payments for these products and services as of September 1st. And we'll run through the end of October. At least that's the goal. We are also excited that we are almost there, working on a brand new online store through which schools can make their payments for annual support, WCRIS, WELSA payments, Power School, like I mentioned, NWEA, lots of different things. And the advantage this year too is we will be offering an electronic check feature for payment. It just helps with accuracy, not to have to do manual import with paper checks. We feel it's going to be providing another service of a quicker way for payments for schools, especially those who may not have a credit card. So we're very excited about this new online store. We're hoping that it's going to be a benefit to schools and they'll find it a welcome resource to use.
That's awesome.
Nice. Sarah and Eileen, let's jump to next summer, because I'm sure plans are underway for kind of a neat event that happens every so often, a national teachers gathering or conference. Tell us a little bit about that. First of all, its name, its location, date, and a little bit about what it is.
Okay, we are excited to be hosting our next WELS Education Conference. It will be next June, the 23rd through the 25th, 2025. It's going to be held up in Green Bay, which is a new location for us to be at. The KI Convention Center and the Hyatt hotel there is connected. So it's a great space. There's nice views of the river right there. Yeah, we're really excited to be planning it.
That's awesome. And the surprise announcement is there's going to be Packers there or what?
We don't know. Maybe the chamber might do that for us, right?
Maybe not.
We are hoping to at least arrange group pricing for some stadium tours. So if you haven't been to visit the stadium, I think we'll get some busing and group pricing for those tours to get folks over there to see.
So who on this call has been to Lambeau Field?
Oh,
none of us. Oh, Martin has, and Eileen. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Sarah and I are prime candidates to get that tour. Maybe they have some fishing set up out in the parking lot or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we're excited about the conference theme too. The theme is Now You Are. It's basically contrasting the new life we have in Christ and the chance to serve as members of God's family. So our conference is going to focus on creating a culture. It's different themes that are tracks that people will be able to participate in that will all kind of bring that a feeling together and enable that teachers and schools can live out their faith and remembering who we now are in Christ because of Jesus. So there's more details to come on that, but it's really exciting to see how this is coming together. So, and Green Bay is fun. It's a fun place. Like Sarah said, this conference, the KI Center is very spacious. So are the rooms. We encourage people to bring their families. Each room, I think it has a separate pull-out couch area, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, they're like suites.
Pardon me?
Nice.
They're like suites rooms. They have little kitchenette and.
Yeah, really nice. So we encourage people to bring their families, have the families spend time at Bay Beach while you're listening to conference stuff. And and as was mentioned, tour Lambeau too. So it should be really fun. The city and Chamber of Commerce have been extremely welcoming. So
that's awesome. Something to look forward to. Get it on your calendar now, folks. June 23rd through 25th, 2025. Good stuff. Well, now you have a face with maybe the names you've dealt with many times in the Lutheran Schools office. Two faces, two lovely faces that are there for you and you can call on, and they do their very best to supply what you need for your school to run smoothly. So thanks for taking the time, ladies, and what a thrill to have you on our show today.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great being a part of
Yeah.
it. So.
Our thanks to Sarah and Eileen for taking a few minutes out of their busy schedules. Now is a busy time as school begins to ramp up. They ramp up with all the things and communications they need to get out there, and call season opening in the fall, and all kinds of stuff that makes their lives super hectic.
Yep, all those things are going on. Meanwhile, they're planning an amazing conference for us
Right.
all. And there was discussion of that, obviously, in the interview. Just wanted to point you to the website, WELSedconference.com, where they've posted the keynote speaker, Doug Lamov, which is an amazing person to come and be connected with. He's an international bestseller, Teach Like a Champion. And so that probably will motivate a lot of people to be in attendance at the WELS Education Conference. Again, dates are June 23rd through 25th. It's happening in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And there is a place on the website for you to sign up for different news releases and things about the conference. So it'd be great if you'd head over to WELSedconference.com and get signed up to receive the news releases that'll be coming out. I'm sure we're going to get hot and heavy into this and learn a lot more about it in the coming months.
Yep. So thanks to Sarah and Eileen for their participation in that, and just taking some time to chat with us, and blessings on your continued work there. Thanks, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Sally, I think it's time to move to our tips, picks, what have you, of the week. And I know you've been on a quest this summer. So tell us how you're doing in your professional development bingo journey.
Well, it's looking pretty good. I've got this diagonal line going here with a lot of green check marks.
Nice.
So the idea was at the beginning of the summer that I was going to do some professional development following that Ditch That Textbooks Summer PD Bingo card. And it looks like if I can get this Miro in, or mirror, I guess is what it's called, in, I will actually achieve a bingo. I don't think mirror was on my list, but I might be just making that happen just to learn something new about reflection using mirror. So we'll see. This week I added the green check mark on Diffit, which is one I talked about at the beginning of the summer as being extremely popular and something I definitely wanted to get to, and this was the time. So let's just dive in a little bit to what Diffit has to offer. It is called Diffit for Teachers, and it's meant to help you differentiate your resources that you're providing for your students, which can be a big challenge. I'm thinking in WELS classrooms in particular, there's a lot of multi-grade situations going on. And so being able to teach the same lesson, but have the resources appropriate for different reading levels and comprehension levels and things in your classroom can be quite a challenge, I would think. This website uses AI and does amazing job of doing that work for you, or at least getting you started down a very good path. So let's take a little bit of a look under the hood. First of all, there are professional development resources here, and they are wonderful. It is a fairly straightforward and easy tool to learn, and you can learn it fairly quickly. So I recommend starting with this overview video. And then as you go further down the page, there's some different resources on how people are using it. And then there's an area where you can become a Diffit certified educator. And it says it's a 20-minute course. It's basically 3 video tutorials with some downloadable resources to support. And then, the chance for you to try it yourself and kind of prove to them that you've done some work with Diffit so that you can earn your Diffit certified educator badge. So that's just what I did. I walked through those resources, and I'm just going to give you a little quick overview of what's included in those resources. So Diffit will take literally any kind of input. So you can just type out a prompt for it. You can select a theme. You can do different things just by typing into the text box. Alternatively, you can give it a link to a URL. So an article, a PDF, a YouTube video, you can just paste a link here. And then finally, you can upload your own text. So pasting in content, maybe from your own, um, you know,
Curriculum
curriculum or
resources.
whatever it
Yep.
is. Yep. And then, or you can upload PDFs if they aren't out on the web, but your own PDFs, that kind of thing. You can align things to different standards. And in each of these options, you can select an appropriate reading level from second grade on up to 11 plus grade and a language. And apparently they offer over 60 different languages. So if you have someone who's a English as a second language student or whatever it may be, you can get things in their original language if you need to do that. And I'll show you a little bit about how it works once you generate a resource. So I thought it would be interesting, Martin. I was thinking, what kind of URL could I give it to generate a resource? And I decided to give it our last WELSTech episode. So I put in the YouTube link to our last WELSTech episode, and I'll just kind of walk you through. I asked it to do it at a sixth grade reading level and in English. And this is the output I got. It basically starts
By the way,
with
great conversation with Ben Workentine, Pastor
it
Ben
was. It was
Workentine.
awesome with Ben Workentine, and they do a great job of summarizing it. So it starts with an image, and it gives you alternate images, or you can upload your own. So it took an image from our YouTube video, and then the alternate images it provided were around digital citizenship, just kind of some web images that were out there, not related to our video, but just kind of general images. So if you were doing something on the American Revolution, for instance, it would find different images that are available on the web around the American Revolution, but you do have alternatives, or you can upload your own. Next up, it gives you an adapted reading passage. So it takes basically the transcript of the YouTube video and adapts it to the reading level. Sixth grade is what I had chosen. So it says things about our show. Today, they had a conversation with Pastor Ben Workentine from St. Mark in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The topic of their conversation was digital citizenship. Pastor Ben talked about how important it is to think about what we post and share online, especially when it comes to spreading the message of the Christian church. He mentioned that social media can be a great tool for sharing the gospel, but we need to be careful not to turn people away or blur the line between church and state. Now, suppose this was kind of right on and you were happy with it. You could just go with this adapted reading passage, or you can click in to edit and make changes wherever you'd want, like they misspelled WELSTech. So we could correct that. Whatever you'd like to do to make this work for you. Easy to make changes. They also misspelled my name, so I'm pretty sure I would correct that as well. Moving on down, then there's some content areas that it pulls from that adapted reading. It gives you a summary. And again, you can click in and edit. You can add bullet points to the summary, whatever you'd like. It gives you some key vocabulary words, and all of these are editable. When you click into edit, you can resort them if you'd like. You can
or add your own, looks like. Awesome.
actually add your own vocabulary words. And there's actually two ways to do that. When you do add your own, you can type in a list, or you can pull keywords from the text and just have it choose more. Just lots of different options. And I watched her demonstrate this. Let's see if I do add your own words, then we could put in whatever words we want to put. So perhaps digital wasn't on the list. Then we could put that, and we could put commas. And when I click generate, then it thinks for a minute and it adds digital with an example sentence as well for the vocabulary at that sixth grade level, all of this. The next main section is some multiple choice questions. Same kind of concept. You can edit these to tweak the way they're written. So it asks, what did Pastor Ben Workentine talk about with Martin and Sally? How to make a podcast about church activities, the best way to use social media to share the gospel, how to create a website for a church, or the importance of using technology to help people in need. So probably, obviously, B would be the correct answer. You can say show answers. So it tells you, and then you can add your own questions, reorder them, make edits to them, whatever you'd need to do. The last two sections are short answer questions and open-ended prompts. So same concept, all the editing capabilities are there. Once you're happy with this content that it's created, then you have different ways that you can export. And I'll just click see all export options because it's kind of overwhelming. There are summaries. You can do a Jeopardy game. You can do writing strategies, text analysis, all kinds of different ways, reading strategies, writing strategies, etc. And a lot of these, well, I should say that all of these download in different formats. So it tells you kind of underneath interactive slides where you can like play this on a smart board kind of concept or whatever. Or some of them interactive slides and the students can take the slide deck and type right into it. Once it creates it, it's all in Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Slides. You can share it easily to Classroom as desired, or you can put it in your Google Files and go in and tweak it there as well. Let me just show you an example. This isn't the WELSTech one. This is one I did on llamas, believe it or not. And this was kind of a social media slide deck. So kind of themed around social media. It actually starts with an instructional slide and gives you how the lesson should flow and things like that. The goal of this slide deck, to assign it to the students, would be to write a caption for the Instagram style post with the image that was selected. Be sure to include all vocabulary terms in a way that shows you understand their meaning, and then create some hashtags for this post. So kind of up the alley of a lot of kids these days where they're interested in social media posting. But behind that, is where they can dig in and learn about all the vocabulary terms. They can read the text and take notes on it. They can go through and read the different questions and the short answer questions. There's a lot that you could include in this lesson by just handing off this slide deck. And then kind of the culmination would be for them to come back to this first slide and do their social media post. So that's just one example. I do want to show you over here under my resources. I created that WELSTech episode you saw at the 6th grade level, but I had created the llama one and I did a conversion to the 5th grade level. So I had it at 4th grade and I made it 5th grade. And if I wanted to, I can open up that lesson and I can say, translate it to Spanish. And in just a moment, the lesson will be regenerated and it'll be in the Spanish language. So you can see my Las Llamas. And all the different questions and things are in the Spanish language. So if you had a Spanish speaking student as their first language or whatever, you would be able to adjust it for them. So just that quickly, you can do things for different languages, different grade levels, whatever your needs are. And it all gets stored up there in your My Resources, and you can generate that plethora of different types of resources around the content that you've created. I will say, they're very realistic. It's not necessarily going to be the final product when you get it here, but they give you all the editing capabilities. So you can change your pictures, you can edit to your heart's content. You can see the 3rd grade level is a little bit less content and things like that. So just lots of possibilities. And again, all up here in your My Resources, so you could make changes to it as desired. I went through the certification and proved myself worthy to earn the badge. So that's how I got my check mark on my bingo card. And it didn't take me very long at all to comprehend the power of DFID. So definitely check it out. Just a couple more things to mention. I'll be really quick. Yeah, and I thought I had it open, but I don't see it here. I probably clicked off of it. But there is a deal right now. It was shared by Mike Plucker on Wells. Let me just see my reference here. tech tools for WELS teachers on Facebook. So there was a Facebook post. I'll just click and yeah, it opened right there. Where he shared that there's a free year for first year teachers. So talking a little bit about pricing, they will give you a 60-day trial. And then the pricing for individual teachers is $15 a month for the pro version. I think there's some free level that doesn't include as many worksheets and forms and things to generate. But for the first year teacher, you can get it the premium access through June of next year by filling out their form. So that's great if you're a first year teacher. Also, in their professional development resources, let's see if I go back up a little bit. This slide deck right here is ready to go to teach your teachers about DFID. So you can host your own professional development on DFID using this slide deck. And one of the cool things is they will actually give you a $25 gift card to go towards snacks during your professional development. So it says donuts with DFID. And if you're doing this as a professional development with your staff, you can get a $25 gift card to cover the snacks for that. Mike Plucker, who's a teacher at New Ulm, St. Paul's New Ulm, says that he's been a beta tester for them for a while, and he's really excited about what they have going on and all the power that it offers you to differentiate your content. And again, literally any input resource that you can think of, and they'll create this content for you to tweak and make use of. So I'm quite impressed. I think that other teachers would be as well. So check it out. Let us know if you use DFID, how you use it. They actually have a cool Wakelet out there that they share different ways that people are using DFID, and it goes on and on. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Nice. I wish all of these types of programs would provide those training resources for faculty training, sharing the knowledge. That is one big barrier to getting this across faculties, is there's just not that. So that's awesome. So question on the YouTube video that you fed it, was that instantaneous or did it take some time for it to go through the video?
Well, you watched it generate the different grade levels in the Spanish version. That's how long it takes. Literally
Really?
10 seconds, something like that.
Okay.
And it generated that.
That's incredible.
It is.
Good stuff.
It's really impressive.
I know my wife has used this. I think last summer she was playing with it and she was very impressed too. So very timely. All right. My pick of the week is actually a repick and kind of a variation on the pick, and that is the tool called Raindrop. I misspelled it here in the show notes, but Raindrop.io is a bookmarking tool. And I've just really come to appreciate its power and its feature set over my work this summer. And just in general, it is kind of a go-to tool for me to kind of track all the online resources that I visit. I can add highlighting, I can categorize, I can add hashtags. The thing that I'm highlighting here is their browser extension help page, because it really talks about, and their documentation is awesome too. When I say they, it's actually one guy. I think he's in either the Ukraine or some Eastern Bloc country that he's done all this, all the documentation, all the programming, whatever. There are browser extensions, I believe, for Chrome, Firefox, I believe Safari as well.
Opera, I think it's
Opera, right? And the way I use it is it allows you to search your entire collection of bookmarks right from the toolbar. So if you've got this extension installed, you can open it up in a pane on the right or left of your browser if you want to do it that way. But I found the easiest way is to open up a new tab, type RD for Raindrop right in your toolbar, right in the URL finder, and then search it right from there. And it search is another powerful feature of this. It not only searches the web page names, but it'll actually search the content of the pages or PDFs, because it does allow you to store links to PDFs or even upload your own documents. So that is just a quick way to get around the internet, and that's super helpful to me. I don't really have to organize my bookmarks because of the sophisticated search that is provided there. I just need to remember, well, what's one word either on the page or in the name of the page, and it will bring it up for me 9 times out of 10. So it is a super way to optimize your use of a browser, and it is cross-platform, Windows, Mac. There is a great iOS app, so on your iPhone or Android phone, allows you to do the same thing. It's easy to save bookmarks. And I mentioned with highlights, there's all kinds of integrations with other tools. It even saves permanent copies of the pages that you are visiting. So if that page changes or goes offline, you still have access to it, can search it, see your highlights, those kinds of things. I mean, I could sing the praises of Raindrop for a long time. But I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that, and if you're interested in what it does, look at their help page and see all the things that it does and see if it solves a problem for you. There is a free version, but I would encourage you, if you're interested, to pay for the yearly subscription, which is only $28. And that gives you some of those features that I was talking about: full text search, the permanent library. You can even set reminders on pages, so if you need to come back to them at a certain point, annotations, backups, uploading of files, and cross-platform support. There's all kinds of things that you get with the yearly. And they've recently rolled out, of course, AI in it that suggests categorization for you, which is kind of nice. And it is just a really solid product. I'm amazed that one guy can do this. He seems to keep it up to date. There are features rolled out, I wouldn't say every month, but certainly a couple times a year, that are super useful. The stuff he rolls out is not, kind of fringe or edge kind of stuff. It is, very useful things that I would want in a bookmarking tool. One thing that I'm going to be getting into a little bit more is bookmark sharing. You can put collections together and share those. So if you're teaching a class, or if you want to share this for a project, you can share bookmarks that you've saved, and you don't have to do anything special other than give them the same tag or put them in the same folder. So it is actually one of the best tools I've come across, and something I use multiple times a day. So I wanted to make sure it got on your radar if you hadn't maybe tuned into the episode last year when I talked about it. But this is a well done product, and well worth the subscription price if you're so inclined. So that's my pick, raindrop.io. Take a look at the help page and take it for a spin. There's a great amount of free stuff that you can get, and see if it works for you.
Oh, you've definitely tempted me, Martin. Back in the day, we used Digo pretty extensively.
Yeah.
And after my heart was broken when it didn't work the way I needed it to and things, I kind of abandoned this. And I have a lot of bookmarks in my browser, which I'm not super thrilled to do that way, but that's what I've kind of landed on. So
I was there too.
This is very, very tempting. It
and it'll
seems like
import
it would
all
be...
those, and you can export them too, of course. So
nice.
So you're not losing all the work and organization that you did there either. So
that's great.
Good stuff. Raindrop.io. Sally, let's move on to community feedback.
Yeah, I believe the thing that we want to talk about today generated from an email you received, Martin, where someone was asking you for some guidelines around churches that do live streaming.
Yeah, should you, what are the privacy concerns, the security concerns? And it is kind of the Wild West in some respects. You are kind of on your own to figure out what you should and shouldn't do. There are certainly some laws around, putting children on video without permission, those kinds of things, and some common sense things. But there are other things that are more ministry type questions, should you or shouldn't you kinds of things, and just some good best practices I found and put together. I get this question quite a bit, so I've kind of got my stock answers, but I thought I'd use AI to help me out a little bit here too. So I decided, let's build a list of 10 considerations when live streaming a church service. And I was actually very happy for the most part with what it gave me to start with. And so I built a little bit off of that. And this is kind of my go-to now as people ask me this question is, these are, obviously some things that are more legal things, but many of them are just best practices. Be aware of sensitive situations, protect prayer requests, maintain a list of those who want to opt out of being on a public feed, even though there is an assumption that that's not available. Maybe have a space in your church that is never on camera. Be extra communicative when first implementing live streaming. Make extra efforts to inform the congregation about the changes, and then balance ministry needs with privacy. So, Sally, you took it the extra step and made a nice little infographic. Tell us a little bit about how you did that.
Yeah, I use my favorite tool these days, Canva, and there was actually a plethora of templates to choose from. That's my theme for the show, apparently. And I just plugged in those cool different 10 things and made it all work, put some graphics to go along with the theme. And you even included an AI will do this for you, all the different citations and things
Right.
that the different tips were based on. So that's in the infographic as well. So we'll be sharing that link to the infographic in our WELSTech show notes. Seeing the citations there reminded me that you can get citations for what Diffit generates as well.
Yeah.
And you can include those if you want to show the citations. That was one thing I didn't
And
mention,
probably
but that's
should,
very
yeah.
important. So yeah, cool infographic to go along with the great answers you were able to provide on live streaming for churches.
I don't know if you have this in the show notes, but I'm sure you can put it in there. There was a good article I came across as well in my research for this answer from Church Tech Today. There's a large church, a mega type church, Bridgetown Church, that announced they're discontinuing their live streaming church online services for some interesting reasons. It's worth a read. So if you're considering live streaming, maybe take a step back and say, is this something that is helpful to our ministry or not? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And there should be some specific reasons and maybe some reasons not to as well, or at least maybe in the way that you're thinking. So we'll include a link to that in the show notes.
Interesting.
All right. I think that's going to about do it, Sally. I am looking forward to the grand finale, of our summer tech talks. We're going to be talking to District President Joel Zank about how he uses technology as a district president, and specifically one of the things that district presidents do from time to time, actually quite a bit, is generate call lists. And we're very familiar with the tools around that. So we'll talk a little bit about what all goes into that too. If you've got interest in that, tune in next time as we conclude our Summer Tech Talk series. Really enjoyed it, Sally. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at the WELSTech homepage at all the different people we've talked to so far in that history listing there on the homepage, and learned a lot from a lot of different angles. So it has been an enjoyable summer.
Neat people, all of them. I've enjoyed every conversation. Yeah.
While I'm here on the homepage, I'll just point out that we have all kinds of links for you to connect with us if you want to message us on Facebook or X or Digo, which we still monitor, Pinterest, Instagram. Those are all available. We have good old email that you can send us, and you can also send us a voicemail. We'd love to hear your voice as part of the WELSTech conversation. So let us know what your tech and ministry wins are or maybe some of the challenges you're facing. And we'd love to talk about it on WELSTech.
WELSTech.wels. That's the place to go. So thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.